The air carried the bitter scent of something lost. That was the day I understood that the people who had raised me weren't my home anymore. They were strangers wearing familiar faces. I stood in the same kitchen where mornings once buzzed with life, where the smell of coffee meant warmth and the sound of clinking mugs meant love. But now there was only quiet. My father sat slumped over the table, hands trembling, eyes hollow. A single sheet of paper rested in front of him, words scrawled in haste. 6 words that tore through me like a blade. We took your money, Ethan. Fix him. No names. No sorry. Just cruelty wrapped in handwriting I knew too well. I'm Ethan, and if you've ever been betrayed by the people you'd give everything for, you'll understand. I had come home for New Year's, suitcase heavy with gifts, heart heavy with hope. I expected the usual chaos, ugly sweaters, burnt toast, and my dad's terrible singing. Instead, I walked into a house that felt like a grave. The air was thick, the lights were off, and hope had long since left. My father, Thomas, sat there trembling, not from the cold, but from being left behind. Beside him lay a half-eaten bagel, and that cursed note. My mother, my brother Caleb, and his wife Nora, they had taken everything, the savings I'd built for all of us. Money meant to help Dad recover and keep the family afloat. They drained it and disappeared. I knelt beside him, the floor icy beneath me. Did they say anything? I asked quietly. He looked at me, tears gathering at the corners of his eyes. They said we'd all go, he whispered, but they left without me. I tucked him into bed, made tea that went cold between us, and sat in the silence. That night, I made a promise to myself. They would understand what it meant to be left behind, not through anger, but through the emptiness they created. 3 days later, there was a frantic knock at my door. I opened it to see them, my mother Diane, my brother Caleb, and Nora. They looked pale, desperate, their guilt written across their faces. Diane clutched her purse like it was her shield. Ethan, she gasped, we need your help. Something's happened. I leaned against the doorframe. Yeah, I said evenly, I know what happened. You left Dad with a note and my money. Caleb's mouth tightened. Nora's eyes dropped to the floor. We didn't mean, Caleb started. Didn't mean what? I snapped. Didn't mean to rob him of hope, or to abandon him while you spent what wasn't yours. Diane's voice cracked. We thought you wouldn't come. You're always working. That hit hard, because I was always working for them. Every crisis, every bill, every broken promise, I've been the one holding the pieces together. I let them in, not out of kindness, but to watch their excuses crumble. Nora spoke softly. We didn't spend it all. No, I said coldly. You left enough for a hospital bill and a stale breakfast. How generous. Diane broke then. Your father fell, Ethan, hit his head. He's in the hospital. The words spun in my head. My father, hurt and alone, while they drank on my dime. I could barely speak. You left him, I said, each word sharp. And now you come to me? Caleb's eyes filled with tears, but I stepped aside and pointed to the door. Get out. I'll take care of Dad. Like always. The hospital smelled like bleach and broken trust. My father lay pale and bruised, whispering my name like it was keeping him alive. I took his hand and said softly, I'm here. But inside, a voice whispered, I shouldn't have to be. That night, I stopped being the family savior. I called my lawyer, froze their accounts, took full control. Caleb called the next morning, panic dripping through the line. Our cards are dead. Rents declined. I smiled. Good. Try living without my help. The messages started pouring in. Apologies. Excuses. My mother begged, saying they just wanted freedom. Freedom bought with betrayal. I didn't reply. Days passed. Dad began to heal, his laughter returning in small pieces. One morning, he took my hand and said, I let them take too much from you. I called you selfish because I didn't want to see the truth. I nodded. You did, but I'm done waiting for you to defend me. A week later, a letter arrived, Diane's handwriting shaky and remorseful. She wrote that she had failed me, favored Caleb, and left me in the dark. She said she didn't want money, only forgiveness. I folded the letter and tucked it away. Forgiveness wasn't ready. Not yet. Dad started walking again, smiling more, feeding ducks at the park. One day, he handed me a check, his pension, cashed out. "It's not much," he said, "but it's mine to give." I took it, not for the money, but for what it meant. A man trying to rebuild his dignity. Now, the house smells like coffee again. Dad hums off-key, the way he used to. And out there, my mother and brother send small payments, as if money can fix what they broke. I'm done carrying them. If you ever held up people who refused to hold you back, tell me, what made you finally let go? Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is let the ones who shattered you live inside the silence they created.